Mi nombre es José Ángel Vidal Esquivia, vengo de Colombia, tengo 23 años, soy químico de la Universidad Nacional.
I am John Alford Molina. I am 25 years old. I come from the Philippines, and I am a seminarian for the Archdiocese of Manila.
Inicialmente a Colombia, bueno, tengo una relación o estoy trabajando con los frailes dominicos en Colombia y al estar con ellos llegó una carta en donde se solicitaba un joven que, bueno, cumpliera las características para venir a Francia. La idea me gustó mucho y bueno, al ser de la familia dominicana, escogí Dom&Go como el lugar para hacer una misión, especialmente Lille, el convento de los frailes dominicos.
I am undergoing what we call the Regency period. For the first year of my Regency, I taught in the University of Santo Tomas, a Dominican university. But I felt that for the following year, I cannot yet go back to the seminary because I wanted to experience more and learn more and prepare myself more for the priesthood. So I was preparing myself to undergo mission. One of my colleagues asked me, she said, why not with the Dominican? And so she told me that there is an opening that was sent by the Dominican Volunteer International in France. And so I said, why not? And so I sent a letter, an email rather, to the director, Father Frank, and voila, I'm here.
Bueno, en Lille mi misión principal es la enseñanza del español, de mi lengua materna, en un colegio llamado Yandá, en una ciudad muy cerca, a unos 20 minutos. Es una de las misiones. La otra misión consiste en estudiar un poco de teología, una formación teológica en la Universidad Católica de Lille. La otra misión también consiste en, bueno, en vivir en la comunidad, en realizar algunos oficios o tareas de la comunidad y compartir la vida fraterna. Y bueno, aprender un poco más de esta lengua, del francés.
I have been teaching since February in Jeanne d'Arc, English. Also I took some courses in the university, in the local Catholic university. Another thing that we do is to go to the immigrants, the Roma people, and to be with them and to sometimes to teach them mathematics. And also living in the convent, we do some chores, which is not really a lot, but I think that's also part of the mission, the main part of the mission for that matter, to be able to experience how the brothers live in the community.
Bueno, yo creo que el momento en que estuve en Lourdes con los enfermos ha sido un momento bastante impresionante en la misión porque, bueno, primero me enfrento a un grupo de personas que están enfermas y que son trasladadas de sus lugares de origen a Lourdes a visitar a la Virgen, y solo tenía un mes de estar acá, el francés lo hablaba muy poco, y bueno, pero saber que la relación entre estas personas que están enfermas y que, aunque no conozco muy bien su lengua, entiendo su sufrimiento, comprendo su sufrimiento, pero también comparto su alegría de estar con ellos allá, de poder recibir ese abrazo caluroso que nos regala Nuestra Señora de Lourdes. Y bueno, quizás este fue un momento más impactante en la misión, pero también han habido otros momentos, como algunos momentos con los estudiantes en Yandá, cuando te cuestionan por qué te vas, deberías quedarte otro tiempo. Significa que, bueno, estamos dejando una huella dentro de las personas con las que trabajamos en la misión.
What touched me here is, what I remember most is the meals, right? The meals. There are lots of things that I can mention, no? Like Lourdes, you know, the World Youth Day, but I would like to mention the meals, which is really regular. The daily, sometimes taken for granted part of the day because we can eat anywhere. But For me, being a stranger, in a way, in this country, in this community, what touched me most here are the meals, the laughters that we share with each other, the times that you just talk about what happened throughout the day and you see each other tired but still being able to laugh and to have the meal with one another. And for me, that touches me. And so I think my relationship with the brothers got deeper and deeper, not just because I live with them, but I study and I teach, so most of the time I'm out. But when we have meals at the end of the day, after a long and tiring day, after doing each other's work, you feel that you belong to a family. And that I will never forget. As you all know, Dom&Go is a two-way program. I was the first one to be welcomed in this convent in Lille for the other part of the program, that means to welcome volunteers from other countries. So being the first one, it's a bit difficult because I became a sort of a specimen for experiment but évidemment, I think it's most of the time like this for the first people who undergo a program. No? So it was a bit difficult. I think that's my difficulty. We were trying to test the waters. Okay, so what do we do with you? What do we do? How do you fare in this area? How do you fare in this? So we were trying to balance things because I was the first one. So I think that was the most difficult part of the mission.
Bueno, inicialmente la lengua fue muy difícil, ha sido un poco complicado porque aunque son lenguas hermanas, la pronunciación siempre es muy diferente, pero yo creo que el ánimo, la fuerza y sobre todo la comunidad que me rodea, los frailes dominicos, han estado muy prestos a que pueda aprender bien esta lengua, que pueda comunicarme. No ha sido un motivo de no relacionarme, porque de alguna u otra manera, bien o mal, he podido establecer una comunicación y siento que puede ser una dificultad, pero a la vez una dificultad que se logra evadir o se logra avanzar en ella muy rápidamente.
I give you 3 C's, like difficulties. The first is culture, climate, and church. First is culture. Of course, it's evident. I'm an Asian. We are in Europe. The culture is very different. Like, for example, you have to learn it step by step. You don't ask this. We do things in order. We do things by schedule. I say, I don't plan. I always taught myself to learn how to bend to the culture if you can bend. But things that are, for example, deeper or more important, then I don't bend. Like, for example, when you see food being wasted. But there are times that you can bend, like, for example, not asking the age of women. So second is the climate. I arrived here February. I remember that I arrived here in Charles de Gaulle Airport. So I said, it's a little bit, I found it a little bit weird because I thought there was air conditioning in the airport. I said, cold. I thought it was winter here. Why do they have air conditioning in the airport? But when we went out of the airport, it's the same. I said, a little bit colder, but it was the same. So it was the cold from the outside coming to the inside. So you can imagine, it was a bit of a challenge for me. So the third one is the church. The very purpose why I went here was to broaden my understanding and my horizon when it comes to how the church lives in different parts of the world. I remember sending this email to Father Frank, and I told him that a phrase, which is the France as the eldest daughter of the church. And he told me, you might be surprised. You said that France is the eldest daughter of the church, but you might be surprised when you come here how the church, how the position of the church is in France. And in a way, I was surprised, really surprised, because in the Philippines, you know, the church is still young, and so the priests and the faithful are still very active when it comes to the faith. We are very expressive. You know? We were colonized by the Spaniards, so we are a bit noisy when we express our faith. No, with all these processions and popular religiosity, you know, which I think is doing good for the faith.
Siempre hay que ponerle el alma, siempre hay que hacer todas las cosas con gusto y creo que esto es el principal motor para poder realizar una misión.